to all the dispossessed youth of Africa, for perpetuation of communion with ancestral spirits through the fight for African freedom, and in the firm faith that the dead, the living, and the unborn will unite to build the destroyed shrines. Selah. Hello and welcome, beloveds, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. A special shout out, of course, to our Patreon family. We appreciate, love you so much. Thanks to every single person who has subscribed to the channel, who comments and, who likes, who shares. We really appreciate the support, beloveds, especially at, such a time as this. We focus so much of our attention, beloveds, on the chosen ones and the Messiah who's coming back. I've told you guys about the female Messiah who's going to emerge in 2022. People just weren't ready for that one. But, there's so much that we focus on the chosen ones, the star seeds, the ones who have come from higher vibrating planes or realities to kind of come here to try and raise the consciousness and thinking and, collective group mind of humanity. And, there's many, many of us that are here that are doing our work, that are on our life mission, because our mission is not necessarily in front of these screens, beloveds. Many of us, just by being present and living our lives and battling every day against this mental slavery and this mental neo-slavery that is going on, this global hypnosis that many people, especially the ones who have taken the double Big Mac, are in, beloveds. That alone is giving an energy and that's why we're not seeing sugar hit the fan. Please check the show that I did on that, why sugar hasn't hit the fan yet, and how the consensus reality plays out. But I think it's also important for us to be aware of Lucifer's prophets, beloveds, and how far Lucifer's prophets have come. That they are literally, that this is what is now unfolding. They have literally orchestrated this and spoken, the reality that many are living into their consciousness, into, it's like they hijacked our group thought or our group consciousness, and they totally implanted this new world order. And they've been telling us about it so much. And I think they're the ones that they even get excited when we talk about it. And so even now, as we've entered the Aquarian age, or as we're going into it, we see so much revelation around what is happening. But is it revelation that is for us or against us, beloveds? Is it the plan of the Lucifer prophets? Because you see, what they did is they have been planning this since they came. They've studied us. They've studied our animals, because we are the original ones of this planet. We don't have all these studies of rhinos and elephants because they're a part of us, so we don't need to go and look at them. We only started safaris when the Mzungu came around. Otherwise, we used to live with the animals, so we didn't need to go study and get binoculars and, stories for other days, beloveds. But we have been studied to the point where they recognized what was kind of controlling this reality, because this is a consciousness reality. And that consciousness is like gold to lower level beings. It's like our thoughts and everything are just beautiful food. And, our emotions are so rich. These are all the things. This is the energy that creates this reality, beloveds, that we find ourselves partaking in. And nature is like our host, just as this is our vehicle around nature. But the reality we see depends on all our minds coming together. And what is the majority, thought is what manifests. So the enemies of our souls, Lucifer's prophets, they found out and they hijacked the group consciousness of humanity, beloveds. And they started feeding it they started with, even when it was just books. Books like, Brave New World, 1984. Were they warning us? Or were they predictive programming, creating a reality in the future? Because, spells. the art of spelling, of scripting reality. These people don't just do things just like that. And you'll see that, a lot of people that have written a lot of these books that are now unfolding as we speak were actually high-level magicians, high-level wizards. They had a different understanding of what was happening. They had access to different information that many don't even know exists today. Because this world was hijacked by black magic, beloveds. And I hate to call it black magic, just wicked magic, sorcery, the lowest level sorcery. That's what rules and reigns this world. And Lucifer's prophets, they whisper, there's so few, because prophets aren't usually many people. There'll be just a handful. But they're whispering, they control the media, and then they whisper. They don't even whisper. They repetitively tell us things. Like it's like a hypnosis if you're connected to them. Constantly putting that bad vibe, those negative stories into the atmosphere. Constantly poisoning the group consciousness. And now what I've noticed is that a lot of their agenda, because at first I thought maybe, and this has been many of the theories, and maybe it was like these few people who found out what the Illuminati was doing, and they were exposing them, etc., etc. But what if they were actually helping them? Because you see, nothing can unfold in this world if it's not a conscious thought. And that's another reason why they've disconnected us from our ancestors, where they are fully connected. And they keep those bloodlines so intact so that those spirits can keep recycling and coming back to continue to implement the agenda of the satanic program. And I'm using the word Lucifer just because it's got a code and it's going to trigger something in here for many of my brothers and sisters on the motherland. They've created their world through fear, through lies, beloveds. They've lied about everything. Like everything about Babylon is literally a lie, which they've stolen from people. They've either stolen the lie, killed the lie, or destroyed it. I guess killing is the same as destroying. No, killing, there's somewhere it's been totally wiped out. And destroying is just like where the shrine is down. You know something was there, but you can't connect with it just because it's been totally destroyed and you have no image of how it was. But Lucifer's prophets do everything. Beloveds, they're the ones who studied us to the point where they created MK Ultra programming. And if you look around you right now, it's like a global MK Ultra like rollout. People are literally hypnotized. So what can you do to stand firm against Lucifer's prophets, beloveds? Because they are the ones who have created what we're living in right now. So we can't doubt their presence and we can't doubt their power. They literally created this by showing us certain cartoons, movies, books. Because some of these books, like Brave New World, I read it in my high school in Kenya, beloveds. And 1984, like that was like the reading. That was part of what do they call it? The books that you had to cover. Why was that put in my heavenlies at that time? And they've been at work, beloveds. And the thing is, they always get the children to create the next reality. And the next reality for them is the metaverse. This digital thing where you literally put something, you escape from here and you go into another world. And the reason they're creating this world, I've done a video on it, but the secondary reason, which I didn't cover as much, is because they still want to feed on your energy. That's what this whole thing has been about. Lucifer's prophets were sent to keep you distracted, to keep you asleep, to keep you disconnected, to keep you off balance, so that the demons or the darkness, the lords of darkness that they serve, could literally feed on humanity forever. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, Africa.
Welcome back, beloveds, to Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. I really felt compelled to come and talk about Lucifer's prophets and the fact that it's Lucifer's prophets that have created this lockdown reality. They've been whispering about this. Some have done it publicly. Remember George Bush Sr.? When he talked about we are entering the new world order. And that was like way back in the 90s, beloveds. That's when he came and said that. You don't think they've been doing that systematically? And the way that they've been able to implement their plan is they tell you, don't do this, don't do that, it's wicked, it's evil. And those are the exact same things that they are doing. And so to avoid the whispers of Lucifer right now, because now it's like they're trying to herd everybody into their new reality by force. There's those who are already in their world, but they don't want those because they're looking for a specific people. But those are stories that are for other days. But they don't want the majority who have already taken the Big Mac, who are ready to take even if it's 10, 20, boosters. Those aren't the ones they're looking for. They want the ones who are rebellious. There's a different energy that comes with that. And those are the greatest threat. That's why they're setting up this entire surveillance society. Because they think that we will be disconnected. And I mean, that's the main reason of the double Big Mac. We'll be disconnected from our spirituality. But how do we avoid Lucifer's prophets? Beloveds, you have to come more online and connect more with your spiritual world. Recognize you're a spiritual being having a human experience. They disconnected you from your ancestors and told you your ancestors were wicked. And now they have our own telling us the same thing, repeating their garbage. Connect to your ancestors, beloveds. Have you ever gone to a Mzungu house and you'll see, these baller Mzungus, and you'll see like 100 years or 300 years of their entire bloodline, even their drunk uncle so-and-so. Reconnect spiritually. Get off this physical. Don't be so physical, beloveds. And then guard what you're taking in. Because so many of you send me emails, look what Babylon is planning next, look what Babylon is. And that wasn't even in my heavens. And then now, as I read your email, that penetrates my mind. And then I think about it, and I've just given them energy. I've just given them a couple of building blocks for their next reality. So it's almost like I know there's a need to share, but beloveds, we also have to recognize that by the time they've gotten everyone to set up their system, they are gonna bring this down. They're gonna bring this global grid down because they created this World Wide Web so that they could implement their new world order. I mean, you all know that the World Wide Web was a military thing first, right? And so it's been an amazing thing, but they are watching the awakening that's happening through channels like this and many others, especially among melanated. That's why they keep blocking and stalling and, the real messages of the melanated ones. Be careful what you're putting in here. Be careful who you're giving your allegiances with. And be careful who you're sharing information with. It's about to start raining, beloveds. Because, Lucifer's prophets ain't playing. And we shouldn't be either. And we have to be more sensitive. Stop panicking. Stop being in fear. And before you share that email, really think thrice. Because as I told you, beloveds, that line has already been drawn. People have already made their decision. So me knowing what is behind the moronic new strain, Omicron, how ironic that it stands for moronic. Me hearing that, the moronic strain, it was actually a video game that Billy Goat designed in the 90s that talked about like a demonic invasion. It's great for me to be able to share this information, beloveds, but we almost have to cut ourselves off. And negative news sells. The fear that sells. And I feel like for me, it's really a challenge. But I always go with what Spirit is saying between talking about their agenda and knowing that those who need to know, if I tell you to connect to your spiritual team and you take me seriously, then they will give you the information that I'm not able to share with you. But we have to stop just giving the Lucifer's prophets an open ear. Like for you guys who are still watching Netflix and all this stuff, like really start to wean yourself off, beloveds. Because what is the purpose? We have to start thinking, what is the end game? If you tell me what the whole, what is in the strain and I already know, then why are we even sharing that information? Because there's someone who was like, some articles about the pandemic and it's just like, I've already made my decision. I've already moved out of the city. I'm doing what I need to do. So why would you share that with me? And I'm not judging anyone. Thanks for your emails. I always love hearing from you. But I'm just saying we have to understand what is the end game. We have to understand what is the end game of this information. Why is so much being revealed? Is it because they need to urgently implement it before enough people reach a certain level and the consciousness is switched back? Because they came in, they invaded the group consciousness, and then now they're trying to put the group consciousness on a grid that they can feed off forever before enough people wake up and grab back the group consciousness. The biggest battle right now is for the consciousness of the people. And so you have to recognize that the thing you have to protect the most is your mind, beloveds. The thing you need to protect the most is your mind. Because Lucifer's prophets are ordering your life in such a deep and intricate way. Through those movies that you just think are nothing. Through the, where they're releasing what they're going to do next and everyone's like they're being exposed, they're not able to do it. But they control the narrative. So how much is just leaked information for real? Because at this point, we just have to stand firm in creating our new world, in being part of this new earth, embracing it, not even creating, embracing this new earth and walking in it and allowing our vessel to be in it and our consciousness to be in it and, and fighting off the threats and bullying of Babylon, which will make us sell our consciousness to them. Not even sell, give it over. So be wise, beloveds, what you're reading, what you're sharing. And I mean, I'll be so happy when the electric grid goes down, because many people don't realize that that's part of the Babylon system that keeps everyone's vibration super low. That energy grid just messes with us and messes with that consciousness. So stay strong out there, beloveds. But I believe, like, as we increasingly get into 2022, more and more of us are going to say, you know what, I'm not going to share because I've made my decision. The people I know and roll with have made their decision. So we're just going to focus on what we're doing and stop giving Babylon any of our energy. And the reason sometimes I cover it is because I still have people who, I'm connected with, who I was sent to, who are still awakening now. So it's just like the ship is leaving the harbor, but you still have to, And if you do share anything related to Babylon, think of a solution, come up with something that will cancel it. Because all of it is just consciousness manipulation. That's what they're playing at. They're trying to make us feel like everything is set in stone and we're all going into this terrible new world order when it's not set in stone. Things are still manifesting, but you see so many people are creating on autopilot that they're totally unaware that they're part of Lucifer's army that's creating this new world order. And I'll do a show on Lucifer's army. I think it's important. Until next time, tuko pamoja.